Nietzsche's Guide to Overcoming Mediocrity. Most people live in mediocrity, following rules they've never questioned. But Friedrich Nietzsche believed you could transcend this, become something greater, something powerful. How? By becoming your own hero, your own Übermensch. Nietzsche didn't merely criticize mediocrity. He saw it as the default condition of human life, a symptom of society's craving for order and comfort. Man is the only animal that must be encouraged to live, he wrote in Twilight of the Idols, reflecting his disdain for a passive existence ruled by conformity. Most people, Nietzsche argued, live lives dictated by the invisible rules of convention and tradition. These lives, while safe and predictable, are also empty, devoid of the creative energy that comes from questioning, suffering, and ultimately transforming. Nietzsche's answer to this crisis of the spirit wasn't a simplistic call to work harder or achieve more. It was a demand to fundamentally reconsider how we live, what we value, and why we exist. At the heart of Nietzsche's philosophy is the radical idea that human beings are not fixed, static entities, but processes in constant flux. For Nietzsche, the greatest tragedy is not failure, but the refusal to engage in the continual process of becoming. "What does not kill me makes me stronger," he famously said in Twilight of the Idols, capturing his belief in the transformative power of struggle. This process of self-overcoming is what separates the mediocre from the extraordinary. What is mediocrity? The inability or unwillingness to confront the deeper questions of existence and challenge the values that have been handed to us. He described this condition as a great sleep, where most people are lulled into complacency by the herd instinct, the tendency to follow the crowd, adopt the beliefs and behaviors that allow for the least resistance. The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe, Nietzsche warned. If you try it, you will be lonely often, and sometimes frightened. But no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself. It is a cycle of destruction and creation, of tearing down old beliefs and identities to make way for something new. Nietzsche urges us to break free from the static conception of the self and see ourselves as dynamic, evolving beings. The higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly. The challenge of becoming the Übermensch is not just to achieve more or to be better by society's standards, but to create your own values and live by them, regardless of external validation. This is perhaps Nietzsche's most difficult challenge, the demand for radical authenticity. It is not enough to simply reject society's values. One must create new values, new meanings, that are deeply personal and reflective of one's own experience and vision of life. Nietzsche's Guide to Overcoming Mediocrity is not a set of instructions or a formula for success. It is a call to radically rethink how we live, how we suffer, and how we create meaning. To live beyond mediocrity is to embrace the full weight of existence, including its tragedies and contradictions. It is to confront the terrifying freedom that comes with creating one's own values, and to do so with joy. So, how do we begin to live this way? Nietzsche would likely say that the first step is to embrace uncertainty, to admit that the answers we seek will not be found in the ready-made solutions offered by society, but in the continual process of questioning, suffering, and becoming. You must be ready to burn yourself in your own flame. He writes in Thus Spoke Zarathustra, "How could you rise anew if you have not first become ashes?" Ultimately, Nietzsche's challenge to us is not just to live better, but to live differently. To live as artists of our own existence, creating meaning where none exists, and embracing the chaos that makes life worth living. This is the path beyond mediocrity, the path toward the Übermensch.